This video chart presentation is Zone Technologies. It's a NASDAQ-listed stock trading under ticker ZHNE. Tech stocks have taken a big hit over the last few days. The market's been selling off, but Zone's actually hung in there. Closed up yesterday 3.6%. Relatively low volume play, only 109,000 shares traded though. But on the whole, the chart has a pretty nice look. Kind of going into a bit of a pennant pattern. After this move to start the beginning of the year from down around 42 cents, stock nearly tripled in value. Still holding about 50% of those gains. I see the RSI starting to creep upward, showing that some momentum is building into play. So I want to wrap this week up taking a look at ZHNE and see if this momentum is going to go into bull mode to end this week and heading into next week. MACD's certainly been cooling since the stock fell from those highs, but it looks like a bullish cross is going to happen. See the histogram bars right now pushed towards zero. And again, that's the type of thing that puts it on radar to see if it's going to swing back into a bullish trend. Similar look to the PPO. ADX, all three components down low. Very neutral reading, not a lot of strength in any direction right now. Money flow index, 7 back on the climb, 14 back on the climb, 21 just now started to curl. That just tells me is that it's moving from a relatively bearish position back towards a neutral reading right now. I just watch the 14 and 21, see if they get over top of 50 as well, to show people are paying higher prices for the stock. Accumulation distribution, moving back upward. Similarly, the Chaikin money flow, making a rotation, still in the red, so selling pressure over 20 periods is still outweighing buying pressure. But like I said, this is looking like it's trying to make a change, an overall shift in trend, so I'll have to watch these volume-based indicators as well to indicate that buying pressure is really starting to pick up some steam. Commodity channel, also breaking back through negative 100 and holding above it now. Again, it's a very early on sign of price improvement. Full stow, it's a gauge of momentum, coming out of oversold territory, starting to rise. Again, for me, that benchmark point is the break of 50 to show bullish momentum. And the tricks, it's a lagging indicator. Not getting much from that because, as I mentioned, these other indicators are just now showing signs of life. So the tricks is going to lag behind all that. I still like to take a look at the tricks, though, just for an overall read of trend. And right now, honestly, it's still not great, as it is making a slightly lower low at this point. But it's something worth keeping an eye on for a bullish cross and a move back up through zero to show some strength. RSIs, all three right near that key point to push through 50. I always want to see the RSIs as well as other indicators trending on the upper half of the indicator. It's just a sign of bullishness when that's happening. But if I'm trying to catch the full breadth of a move, that's why I'm reading into these higher lows and looking for the breakthrough key areas. Now, as I mentioned, a little bit of a pennant going on. I'll just be looking for that trend line to hold. If this try and go up, and I'll pay attention if it does make a stronger move, see if it can break through this trend line. It is a bullish sign. It's holding over top of the 200-day moving average, but the 50 is registering 92, and the price per share only closed at 85 cents on Thursday. So again, that's another thing I'll be looking for. A move back over the 50-day is a bullish indication for the chart. From a static standpoint, you can see how this area, 70 to 72 cents, is an area of static support. That's supported by the 200-day moving average, and that's kind of a worst-case scenario. If stock price does drop, I'd look and see if it's going to hold that 200-day or not. Right now, I'm focused on this pennant. Some people call it a wedge pattern. And I'm just looking for the stock price to continue to hold this higher low and potentially push upward. Now, from a static resistance point, I actually think the stock is facing some, basically right where it closed. That general area up to 87 cents was a support level. And you can see now over this last week or so, it's having a difficult time pushing back through that level. If it can push through that, I think it'll meet some more right up around $1. That's a common psychological barrier. And it's going to happen to tie in with this upper trend line. So I'd look for that dollar mark to be pretty tough, because of static support and the trend line merging at that level. Above and beyond that, really looking for the top end up around the $1.24 mark, because other than that, it's a little bit hit or miss, a little bit intermittent, without any really strong solid lines of resistance. Now, as I said, pretty low volume play. Liquidity could be an issue, but the stock can have some pretty decent days where it can trade up 500,000 shares, which at that point will be plenty of liquidity. So I'd be looking for volume increases to not only deliver that liquidity, but to also show interest is picking up in the ZHNE chart. Pretty nice looking little pattern though, holding the majority of its gains off this bottom. And as such, I think it's one to keep an eye on going forward to see how it performs. But as always, it's merely my interpretation of the ZHNE chart. Thank you for watching, and trade smart.